this. So I've been really excited to actually see this thing in person, and I've sneaked along and the guys were actually firing it up this morning, so I stayed out of the way. So this is Scott Tolhurst's drag car. It's in the low 8s, couple of big turbos, a 1UZ, got some Calford cams in there, it's got some forged bits, runs on some methanol, 2200cc injectors, and we're at the New Zealand Nationals Grand Final to see how he goes today. We'll get a bit of footage, have a bit of a look over it, hopefully get to talk to the driver if he's not too stressed. The door weighs about not very much. All caged out, space framed. These are link dash, shifter. Where is, oh, the computer's hiding there. There's the computer over the other side. Oh, there we go. It's got an older G4 Thunder, and it's got the new Link Razor PDM. This happens to be Phil, the man responsible for tuning that thing down there and making all this stuff go. Did you wire it as well?
Yeah.
That's all your wiring?
Yeah.
It actually looks surprisingly simple. There's not much in it. There's not much car.
Combination of me and Scott, but yeah. I think he joined that one.
Calvin as well said it.
There's a mount.
When I said that I've got mounts on the car, he was like, ooh.
I reckon I can go here and go this way and watch the driver next to you.
Well, it's either that or this side, depending on what lane we go in.
Just do that one at the head of stage, because then we'll know what
That's all I bought. AliExpress, pack of mounts.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
So if you're doing it for a race car,
Yep, just break a hole.
one hole with a nut.
Yeah.
And that's holster offcuts.
Yep.
Perfect washers.
Yeah, I don't throw that stuff away, eh? Did you really need to do the foot pedal as a foot?
Nah, you won't see much except me pumping the brakes because there's still air in the line.
Oh. So what's the box that's in it?
Power glide.
It is a power glide.
Power glide.
I was guessing power glide or like a TH something.
So
I thought power glide was going to be the one.
we took the power glide out of Dad's old car.
Oh yeah.
Which ran 940s and a injected small block Chev. We then killed first gear, rebuilt it, killed first gear and broke the top gear drum. So I bought another one, and killed that, same symptoms. And then I got sick of spending $1,500 to rebuild them.
Yep.
So I bought a $7,000 American box, and in 5 years it's had 4 oil changes.
Awesome. That's good going, isn't it? So that's where the drag racing came from your dad. That's where you were infected.
Infected is definitely the right question.
I think that's the right answer. That's the right word, eh?
I started racing when I was 10 or 11 in the juniors,
Yeah.
so in the kids' cars. I then had a friend from Balclutha ring us up and ask where we lived. And we want to know why, and he said, I'm dropping a car off so you can race it. So when I turned 16, I raced a rail, ran 8.6s. Then he bought a new car, I raced that and ran 7s. And then when I got a job that paid some alright money, I built this.
And we'll discuss the building of this later, because there's not much Sora left.
Oh, there is! There's door catches!
Door catches! Is it on both sides?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I did 9 seconds.
We ran 9 seconds off.
Standard block, 9
Standard
seconds.
block, standard everything, standard cam, standard valves.
Which aren't big classes.
The only thing we did was emptied the water out of it, put a set of heat gaskets in it. A set of Chinese heat gaskets.
Oh no!
Yeah, Kazan specials.
Oh! And head studs or head bolts of that one?
Still top to yield Kazan head bolts.
Oh! The standard head bolts actually can be reused just fine.
Yeah,
if you measure them right.
They were.
That's good going.
They
9
were
seconds
good.
on a stand-up block.
They were good unless you did 2 runs back to back, and then you got too much heat and the gearbox
Oh,
was
okay, so you were actually lifting, but you didn't just put, well, it was all
Let it
good.
cool down and send
Did
it
cool
on.
down and send it again.
Yeah.
Never retorque them.
That's how you guys do it. I understand how you guys do it. And
Race
then,
car life.
yeah, and then you swap to some knockoff 3540s.
3582s
Oh, yeah.
with they had a billet wheel, as much as there was probably a knockoff billet wheel.
They worked very well.
When we spun them with the turbine cover off, it hadn't touched the housing.
Oh yeah.
It's quite surprising. And now it's got some S300.
Yeah, well, they're sort of
S300 housing turbos, shall we say.
Four corner.
Oh, ball corner. Yeah.
So they have
With
a completely different
with an
compressor wheel.
ACP aftermarket rehousing, and it's basically a precision compression comp wheel.
So it's quite a hybrid thing that you've mashed together, or turbo can mashed together
for us.
to do it. And of course the box had some 4G bits put in it now, isn't it?
It's got a set of 10.5 to 1 pistons that came from John O'Climo's
Oh yeah.
truck. He ran it on the dyno,
Yes.
and then decided he was going to get rid of the non-VVTi motor and go VVTi.
Oh yeah.
So I got the pistons out of that, the one dyno session.
Right. Because I actually came to Mary at the 4-wheel drive track to meet Jono years ago, because we get on really well. No,
So the pistons came out of his truck.
yeah.
We put them in the block,
Rings and all.
same rings, no hone and anything, and ran it down to about probably 90, 890 or something, on the same second-hand reused rings.
And it did it. But yeah, the amount of time doing it, it's just there's lots of pressure going on them.
Yeah. It's got a set of Eagle rods.
Which are okay.
Last year
Yeah,
by date,
upgraded
about 2
bolts.
years.
They've done 6 years, 5 years, 5 years.
70 passes on right.
70?
70 passes you done.
Probably.
We did 50 on the fucking dyno.
Eagle are just a nice, safe set of rods. They're not amazing, but they're not crap. They're just
Yeah.
good middle of the road, and they just do the job.
So we will be looking at putting together another short block.
Yeah.
I think this core is starting to walk a wee bit.
Oh yeah.
Either
So
that or we'll fill it full of cement.
cranks, stock crank.
Stock crank, same size bearings, nothing's undersized, nothing's oversized.
And it's still got, so it's got some different pistons in it now.
It's got the same
same
10.5 to
I've
1.
still got the same.
Got a set of rings though. We put a
You've got
set of rings
producer rings in it,
in. Yeah, 2 years ago
and you've put some Eagle rods in it, standard bearings, and that's the bottom end.
with ARP bowl.
So mate, yeah.
Good one.
And that's the bottom end is that's all. And then heads, you haven't even ported these heads, eh?
Standard ports, standard Toyota valves. They're still out of the factory 20-year-old valves. They have got a set of Kelford cams
And some springs.
and some springs.
'Cause-
But the cams also, we forgot about the moisture in the oil, and they rusted in one off season.
Yes.
So they went back to Kelford, who machined the base circle and load down. So it's actually got less lift than what they were made for, because they machined them down to take the rust spots out of the cam.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you pump 24 pounds of boost of it?
Yeah, we've seen 25.5 peak, I think.
Yeah, we're back down to 23 now.
Yeah, we're back to 23.
23.
And it makes 830 at the wheels on the real life dyno out there on the
That's right.
mile.
As I was saying earlier, I thought it was actually really, really cool for those many years that you never, ever put out how much horsepower you made.
Yeah.
And you gave the ET times.
And the weight.
And your weight. And I sat down, I did maths on it, I'm like, it's just a bit over 700. And I went out and I got my maths and I did it again and again. I'm like, it's just a little bit over 700. And of course you're going faster now and got more power. But you were just not much over 700.
On factory heads, basically.
Exactly.
It's got springs and cams, but the ports are still factory. It's still got the same valves that rolled out of the factory 30 years ago with.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's more power sitting right there. So,
So-
there's your next step.
So Kevin from
much.
Horsepower Heads we've been in chat with him for his big port head, oversized valves, big CNC ports and everything, and he reckons they're good for about 200 more horsepower at the same boost level because of the extra flow.
And there's your power you want.
So there's my 1000 at the wheels.
Yeah. And you've got a big hungry gearbox. That transmission is hungry.
I got a 9-inch
So
diff
it's the 9-inch.
And the 9-inch. So what are you losing?
and
What are you losing?
33 and 16.5-inch.
What are you losing to? My
Lots.
midnight thoughts. Well, I'm like, what are you actually losing through that driveline?
We estimate we're around 1,000 to 1,100 crank.
Currently.
Yeah. So you're losing at least 20% driveline. Is what? Yeah.
It'd be nice to put it on a dyno, but we all understand that dynos.
Oh, we have put the whole
Well,
power
we'll put engine on a dyno.
Yeah.
We all understand that a dyno is a tuning tool.
Yeah. No, they don't. No, we don't. We do. Here, we do. Okay. But the world doesn't.
A piece of paper says is exactly what you think, right? There's no correction factor in a dyno ever.
Oh, you bullshit. The amount of times I've seen that, TCFs to 1.2 or 1.3s and shit, it's like just trying to make a figure.
Still plugged in.
Years ago, I
Wait for you to make a decision.
had a guy come in, and he'd been on soy cheese dyno, and he came in and he made 350 kilowatts on a Lancer, and it came into my shop and it made 300.
They have that shit.
And he's like, oh, look, why? I'm like, don't give a fucking shit. Do your adjustments. And he did his adjustments. He adjusted his cam timing as the engine builder instructed. He went backwards first and then went forward. He made 350 kilowatts. And he's like, I don't understand. I'm like, go to soy cheese, you're going to make 400. Made 420. Like, don't care. Just a number, man.
Yeah, that's what I tell people as well. I don't care. I'm not chasing big numbers. It's just tuning. I'm looking more at what I can gain, the percentage I'm gaining versus what the next number is.
If I put a car on when I had my dyno, and I put a Lexus on it, I'd go, this is the setup. It's a stock ECU and an auto. It's going to make 130 kilowatts. I put one on, it made 60. I'm like, there's a wiring issue. I found it.
Yeah.
It had, the timing was locked at 10 degrees because someone put the wrong wire in the wrong place. But of course, put it together, it made 116. It was a bit, but it was an early model ECU. It wasn't great. It's close enough. 14 off what I'd like normally get.
Yeah.
The best one I made on a stock ECU was 160 kilowatts on a manual.
Yeah.
The shittiest, dirtiest, disgusting engine you can imagine. Made the most power.
I've just seen the amount of shit that came out of that when we started running it on this.
Yeah, and then you go to, you get an aftermarket computer, and I lay down 170 to 186, 187 I think was my highest. And my mate's one, he'd made it 195. That was his highest, was 195. Who cares? So close.
Yeah.
Chris is going with you can
But
drive
yeah,
it.
you run it on a different day and the gear atmosphere is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dyno's got correction factors, but it's
Determines who you race.
Right.
So this is based on best reaction and worst reaction. So it will seed out. Nah, qualifying.
Right,
No,
so
it's not the same ladder as at home.
So-
Not nationals.
so 3 quals, straight into elimination.
Yep.
That's harsh, eh?
So your best run out of qualifying is what goes into your elimination ladder.
Right, okay, cool. But a little bit of pressure. He's pretty calm, really.
Oh,
He's pretty cruisy. He's Southern boy, eh?
I mean, I'm pretty sure this thing could be on fire and he'll be like, oh, it's alright.
Southern boy.
It's alright.
You stand in front of that bloody thing there too.
Ah,
Oh, there is actually some coolings of some sort in the back here which I haven't seen because it's been up in the air and I can't see stuff that's up in the air because I'm too short. Trans?
so we did have a fan.
I thought you were just being really woke there for a moment.
no, originally it was for getting smoke out of the cabin, then we moved the trains cooler.
Right, the plans to cut it bigger?
Yeah.
Where's the whole saw?
Cut it bigger so that it's in the fucking middle. Because that I can't handle that is off centre.
Okay, you're the OCD part of the team?
Yep.
Oh, I agree. But the old boy cut it and we looked at it and we
What the fuck?
Do you have to put your straps on yourself?
Again,
I'm the one that matters.
Normally, there's normally someone else putting it in there, and then they go put their foot on the chest and push it in you and tie you in tight. Do you have someone check you on the start line?
Nah, it's all on me.
It's all on you. Wow. I am learning.
Gotta go. Right, we gotta go. Super sedans on the track.
Just the top of the doors coming out.
Yeah. Most guys are getting towed.
Yeah.
Yours isn't a normal drag car where you just drive it.
I just drive it up. Basically, yeah, just to try and get keep heat in the motor. The problem, of course, with driving it up is then we get heat under the bonnet.
Yeah. But I see where you've got your new vents.
Yeah.
I saw that. That's a good design.
That is because the car didn't go home. When home, we might have come up with a slightly better option.
Yeah. So the car lift, well, you did Masterton.
Drove the car up to Hamilton, flew home.
So you just left it in the truck. Left it in the truck.
Left it in the truck.
And then up here, and it looks like your truck is your accommodation as well. I had to go to the dentist yesterday in Hamilton. I was like, should I take my camper van and then just go to the drag strip? And I could have. It was parked up over there.
Park out in the back and sleep in the track.
Primo. So yeah.
You had a really good alarm call when people start warming up cars.
I'm used to that. That's normal, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't that normal? And
the sound about people.
I sleep really, really well on my little camper van. You to hop out. Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, 10:30 last night we did one of those shields, and it is literally just to try and create the cold air on top, not the warm air from the bottom.
I don't know whether you vent. Of course,
we used to run. We had some 5-inch tubing that we on the face of the turbo. Changed these holes here.
Oh yes.
When we changed the turbos, they're further forward.
Yeah. So how much of the bonnet could you disappear?
As much as we want, really.
So you can actually take some bonnet out.
We can take all the bonnet out.
So what class do you run?
So we run what's called top street. So it's a sedan looking vehicle.
Yours was a coupe to begin with.
As opposed to a rail or an altered or something.
Okay.
So it must have doors and a roof.
Okay.
We race on an index. So each vehicle is classified vehicle weight to engine capacity.
Oh yes.
So mine is double F, which is 250 to 270 kilos per litre of engine.
Okay.
I then, whatever the record is my handicap. If I'm racing a car that has a 1 second slower record, he gets a 1 second head start.
Okay.
And it's first to the finish line.
Yep. Got it.
If you run faster, your record then changes.
Yes.
So every round after that, it gets harder and harder.
Right.
Unless you go faster and faster. As opposed to super sedan class, which is basically the same. Sedan, coupe, door shaped vehicles. But they run on a self-nominated index. So you say that you're going to run 13.
Okay.
If you run 12 and a half, you lose.
Like a dial your own.
Dial your own.
Yep. Which is, I think dye your own's fantastic.
Dye your own is, unless you
it's-
want to go faster.
And I think that's really good for, you know, your night drags, night wars and stuff like that. Because it pits the slower car against the faster car, you've got to dye your own.
It comes down to the driver rather than just who's got the most money.
Yeah.
Whereas this class does sort of get a bit, who's got the biggest wallet.
Yes. So, how much sorer when you started? It was a sorer.
No. So I have a daily driven saw. Well, I had a daily driven saw.
Ah, right.
That would make a really nice drag. I worked at a car wrecker / importer in Christchurch.
Okay.
The boss had a saw. I had a mate with a saw.
Yes.
And I knew one who had one for a street stock.
Yep.
And I tried to buy all 3 of the others because I didn't want to chop one up. No one would sell me one. But the guy at the street stock would loan me one. Loan me one to make a fiberglass body off.
Oh, yeah.
So they made a mould.
And so you made the mould, didn't you?
Oh, I had a friend.
You had a mate?
I had a friend who was a boat builder. He built me a mould.
Yeah.
Then I built a body out of it, so almost $7,000 in the hole. And then I got offered all 3 to buy as rolling cars.
Okay. Yeah.
But by that stage, we'd already made the decision to build a tube car and go all out.
Yeah, you've tubed it all.
Yeah.
Built in your shed.
Everything was built in the shed.
And that's
apart from the body.
Again, that infection that is drag racing. It's you've spent countless hundreds of hours.
Oh,
You've still got a partner.
Well, my biggest problem is I work out of town Monday to Friday.
So you only get weekends as well.
So for a year and a half, I only got every second weekend.
Right. Okay.
By that stage, the car was going, but yeah, maintenance and modifications is a bit of a struggle at the moment. Just not being able to go home and spend an hour in the shed.
Yeah, and it's an hour every night of the week, or 2 hours or 3 hours at midnight.
Yeah.
And 2 o'clock in the morning. I know how this works.
And so I'm lucky I've got a couple of boys that'll, you know, drop everything. I fly them up for the weekend. We go racing, and I literally just steer the thing. Everyone gives me shit about it.
Yeah.
We're a pretty good crew. You can't do it without a crew.
Yeah,
Can't do this stuff alone.
for me coming in, I was trying to work out the dynamics of the crew. You're pretty cruisy. Dad's a bit wound up. But
Dad's
pretty,
a lot wound up.
Pretty cruisy.
But he's been doing it for 50 years, so.
And you just got to mesh in and we're good to go. Easy.
Shit never goes right. It's a race car.
It's a race
All
car.
that
That's
stuff goes wrong.
no, and I think that's people don't see behind the scenes of what's happening with sorting cars out, and you're under pressure and you haven't always got as much sleep as you should have, and then just things just don't work.
You have an earth wire come loose in the back of your can keep it.
Yeah, and it's just all those little things. You're busy and you've only
We put the injectors in at 11 o'clock last night and forgot to plug them in. Simple as that.
and of course I'm sitting there watching you, and I'm like,
Hey, it was
well,
running.
they know what
Ran
they're
on
doing.
4.
They know what they're doing.
Ran on 4.
He doesn't mind admitting his mistakes, this guy, actually. It's quite interesting. Some guys would want to hide that. They forgot to plug the injectors in. I was here, I'm like, are you guys going to plug them in? Yeah. Yeah, phenomenal. So what weight is the car?
With me in it, post run weighs 1,080 kilos.
1,080 kilos. Yeah. And at present making about 850.
830 to 850 at the wheels.
Somewhere there. Well, that's what's measured on the mainline dyno.
We made 730.
I can see wings.
We made 730 at the wheels on the dyno on 20 pounds in open loop. So then we changed the boost control to closed loop. So now the boost comes in earlier and a lot, so the times have changed. Not just peak boost, but because it's just how it's applied, basically.
Right, yep. Okay.
So that's our biggest change.
Yeah, and then the rest of it's just turbo upgrades, and as you do. We can do something better, we can make it a little bit nicer. Planning for future when you need to do some cylinder heads.
The cylinder heads will be the next thing. Those got to find some money.
Yeah,
They'll work a few more hours.
I was looking at it and I'm like, stock cylinder, I'm like, well, there's a big gain right there. Fantastic. But then, of course, mind you, rest of it's pretty good. We'll see if the coils start melting down next.
Hey, they are Chinese knockoffs.
I know they're Chinese.
2UZ.
No, they're not.
Chinese.
2UZ's got the wings. They're like a V6 one or something.
Yeah, but the book I ordered them out of said 2UZ.
Yep.
They're Chinese. There is nothing flash. I've killed 2 coils in 6 years.
Which is amazing.
And it's on methanol, under boost.
I know.
And everyone says, oh, you've got to put it in Audis, or you've got to put GTR coils.
As we've discussed, Scott and I talk quite a lot. It's our first meeting today, but we've talked quite a lot about bits and pieces. And he is testing those Chinese coils to the max.
Yeah.
And it works. I've seen other guys, they get to like the 850 horsepower, and then they just start, it's wheels, and they just start melting coils. It's like, it's time up. Audi, I don't know, at this power level, as I said,
We'll find out one day.
smart coils.
We'll find out one day.
Yeah, I know. That's going to be interesting. We'll watch. We'll watch. That's good. But
I did
but that's
originally, when I first built the car, I talked to Paul, Jerry in Australia, and asked him how capable the stock ignition system was.
Yeah.
He said he ran it to 22 odd pounds of boost on the 85. We decided that 22 is probably not where we want to be, so we'll try a different path.
I've run 19 psi. Oh no, actually my own one ran 20 psi on coils and links. Yeah. So it'll be really interesting to see once you get more power in it, how that goes.
Eventually we'll run out. We understand this. We know we are on a fine line.
It's working well.
But yeah.
I'd love to see what the dwell is on those. I'd love to see the dwell table for them.
Oh, we can show you.
Yeah, I might have a look. I'll talk to Phil.
Phil, we've got nothing to hide. I've got no...
Except for years, the horsepower figure.
Yeah. Oh,
because people had to actually work it out for themselves. Which, as I said, I thought that was so awesome.
My thing is there's too many people that say a lot of stuff and hide a lot of stuff. I don't care. I'm not here to impress anyone. I'm not here to say that I'm the best at this, that, or anything else. Built a car in the shed. It's currently run 8.2. The goal is eventually I would like to see 7.6 out of it. I believe that would be about 13 at the wheels.
Yeah.
That will be probably stretching the rubber band.
So to go 0.6 of a second faster, you're wanting 500 more horsepower.
On the standard block.
The logarithmic scale of speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much
another
more?
Atmosphere.
How much
another
more?
Atmosphere.
Yeah, I need
this.
Yeah,
This.
yeah, that's right. You need.
The old yarn was it was $1,000 in parts and labour. So you might not put any more parts in it. You spend more time working on it for every 10th of a second.
Yeah. And this was
So
when
if you look at that, so you say we're on 0.6, so I'm going to need to spend another $6,000 either in parts or in time doing it.
From a 13 second to a 12 seconds relatively easy.
Right.
From 12 to 11, yeah, okay. 11 to a 10, but when you're talking,
Once you get 9 and beyond, it's
just silly. Well, let's go watch some racing.
It's a dumb hobby.
Your screen's got funny stuff all over it. What are you revving it to?
I think limit is 85.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It's only 76 or the 77 at the end there. Used to be like 9 grand at the end.
So you've changed your diff ratios a little bit?
Tyres.
Tyres. And so you're dropping. So he was doing 7,700 at the end of the stroke.
78, 7799.
Right. So it's got some more revs in it.
Yeah.
And then an inch taller in the tyre.
All in the tyre.
And an inch and a half wider.
So they grow.
So as they grow, we actually gain more differential.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, what percentage does those tyres grow over the length of the drag strip?
They grow with speed. So as the mile an hour comes up, they'll grow more.
It's like a CVT transmission.
Yeah.
Bolted to the back of your diff.
Really fucking expensive one.
You're running methanol.
Yeah.
And
How are they pulling?
you got a target of a
No, it just calls
0.75.
everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like,
I don't know if EGT's logged.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 600.
600C.
Yeah.
So you're fine there.
Way cold. But
600C's cold.
the Aussie mate will run the methanol stuff on turbo way leaner than that. He's like, you can keep pulling out, and I'm like, why? We're not gaining.
Alright.
Because he was here one point when I run it up, and he was like, come on, keep pulling fuel out. And I was like, well, we didn't pull, the last pull I pulled out, we would gain nothing, so what's the point?
Yeah.
I'll leave it in for cooling. And he's like, oh, fair cool.
So between every run, you get in and you check the logs. Just like I do. That's my job normally on
I
day.
usually trim it a wee bit, because we don't run any air temp correction. So,
You're manually doing your air temp correction.
on the day, basically.
Do you get in and check altitude and for different tracks? And
Yeah, we got it app and shit for that, and everything's logged against, noted against every timesheet and shit.
yeah, oh yeah. So you're recording it. So there's actually quite a lot of technical sitting with the timesheets and that side of things.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just going out and punting a car down a track as fast as you can go.
No, we got caught out.
It's only blood.
We got caught out mastered him on year 8.
Yep. Now we're getting a second laptop.
Yes, someone missed the shift point.
He's changing the dash.
sorry.
Oh,
Someone's
yes.
going to move the shift point back to the point where he won't fuck it up next time. No, I actually want to work out what the flashing warning light was, because we set up
yeah, that yellow one.
flashing lights were bad, solid lights were just deal with it.
Did you go so far as to give yourself blood nose?
No, I think so.
That's it. Yeah.
And I had a flashing light, and while I was watching the flashing light,
I'd say water
I missed
pressure.
the ship.
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
I'd say water pressure.
Won't be fuck all water
You didn't have time to look at your dash.
reckon?
No,
It wasn't serious enough that you had to shut it down. It's not like an oil pressure warning.
flashing was supposed to be. Flashing was, it's bad.
Yes.
Solid light was, deal with it later.
Oh, okay.
Your
Yep.
lines to that are too fucking small. The one, yeah, the atmosphere pressure crankcase was.
Yeah, I saw that.
Good way to check the condition of a motor. Log the crankcase pressure.
Gotta have log crankcase pressure on these sort of things, eh? It's blowing a little bit more oil than I'm used to, but you're also sitting really low with your catch can. You don't have the advantage of being able to put your catch cans up higher.
Yeah.
Because there's no more higher. Where are you going to put it?
Yeah, so normally you'd go
No,
higher.
the other
and
way
then
is you run the line from there all the way back, put the catch can up the back,
Yeah,
and then the oil just sits in the line though.
that's it. That's right. So that
That's nothing compared to the motor. It fills up one and then almost fills up the spew tank at the back.
oh jeez. Exhaust manifolds. We were just chatting with timing, and seeing the scavenging of those manifolds are actually a pretty basic manifold, but it's good because you can. They've actually got some space. The exhaust is and there it is out. You will notice there's no intercooler in here. We've got a helper pump.
What are they?
There won't be a thermostat in it.
No thermostat.
They've already cut the back of that housing off. You can't quite see it in there, not easy, but it's been cut off.
Power off.
Oh, you actually even don't have a water pump in it.
Got no power off.
There's no impeller in the water pump. Okay, there's no impeller in the water pump either. Don't need that. That's stock car tricks. Jet boat tricks. And again, headers. That's the big grunty spile too, isn't it? That's
You
the
want to have a sit in it?
that's the big boy.
You want to have your photo in it?
Yeah.
So you're aiming for your 80 degrees.
It's, you know, you're 110 by the time you get to the finish line. But we either want to see 80 at the start line, 50 degrees or
Yeah.
before I start.
And get your photo.
Yeah. I think that's really important. See, with the boats we've got so much cooling, we have the other problem, we're not getting enough temp. And if you drop that block temp too much, you don't get that thermal efficiency again with methanol, and it just doesn't burn. So,
And you need better spark plugs.
and then you need the coils, and you need all the everything there. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
So the actual, and 110, it's a UZ, it'll handle it.
I've seen over 120 with it by the end of the track.
Yep.
The factory, these heads came off my street car.
Oh, did they?
So I did a motor swap on the street car because they had an oil leak out of the back rear cam cap.
Yep.
And I couldn't be bothered dealing with the seal. I had another motor, I bought off the mate, so I swapped motors. It's easier. Did the motor mounts at the same time because they were in pieces and that. What I didn't realise is whoever glued the water pump on, I also filled the bleeder nipple
yes.
with RTV.
Yep.
And I'm driving over the hills in Christchurch and it started getting hot on the old Sora digital gauge.
Yes.
And then it peaked the gauge out at full noise, halfway up the hill. By the time I got it stopped, it was so hot, the top radiator tank actually started collapsing on itself.
Oh, the plastic tank.
So we took the swap heads, because they had spares. These ones went to Dave Rosewarne at Cylinder Specialist, who builds, you know, does 1UZ stock car motors and all this stuff. He chucked them on, hardness tested them, and they're the hardest heads he's ever seen on the beach.
Yeah, they've been
perfectly annealed.
Yeah, heated up, right?
Perfectly annealed.
I'm still surprised that they're standard. As I said, I'd be in there with my diagram, I'd just open them up myself, but...
It's got new cams in it, we didn't even degrade the cams. It has still got... Well, so we made sure that they worked, but we haven't got...
You've actually checked them and they were close enough.
They're close enough. It has not got...
And you don't always need to, because you haven't taken lots off the head and all those other things.
Changed.
And nothing's changed, so you're okay. And they're actually pretty close. When
They're close enough for what we want.
Yep. Intake manifold?
So we ran to 9s with a factory bottom manifold. We ran 950.
You'd had a top made and you left the same
just
bottom.
had a 60mm high box.
And you made 9 seconds.
We ran 950 or
Literally
something.
just a square box.
No shaping, no bell mounts, no nothing. It had a 10mm plate top and bottom.
Cool.
Then they are a set of, is it Venom and Aussie?
Oh yes.
With a billet intake flanges.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know the boys at Venom. I just got some more parts from them.
Yeah, so got a set of flanges off them. And we gave them to a friend in Aussie who owns Southside Diner.
Yes.
His fabricator made that box up for us. And that box has bell mouth trumpets inside it.
Oh, it does. That's what I was going to ask there too. You've actually got the trumpets in there.
But it was made for the same. That is the same standard height as the factory intake manifold.
Yep.
Because that's what the bonnet was made for.
And plenum volume?
About that.
Some.
We can probably do the maths, but
Next you ask.
no. All we wanted was it to stay the same height, because that's the height of the bonnet. If it was any taller, the bonnet wouldn't fit.
Yep.
Then I'd have to modify the bonnet.
Looking at the size of that plenum, you could just about do your foggers squirting back towards the throttle butterfly.
And through there.
And that solves your blow-off problem, because that's going to become a big cooler.
And Chris would be happy if we used a bit more fuel.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a whole big fuel tank, which is
It's
huge.
Some days we struggle to use all of that, or half of it.
That's a huge tank for what you're doing.
20 litres.
It was cheap.
22 litres.
I mean, it was about $50 second hand.
Yep.
I'm not going to complain.
No. And the dry sump setup. I see a dry sump pump in there somewhere.
On that side.
Yep, down the bottom there.
A left-hand side pump mounted on the right-hand side because it was second-hand and I was too cheap to... That's why the pressure scrub screws on the wrong side makes it a real...
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, because I did notice the steering wheel. It took me a little while to work out steering wheel on the wrong side.
Steering wheel on this side, oil tank on this side, because torque of the motor tries to lift this wheel. Car twists around the crank. So by putting all the weight on this front corner, it helps with the car going straight when we move the start line.
Yep, righto.
But yeah, so we ran the factory Sora oil pan
Yes.
and pick up and all the rest
Rear
of it.
sump one, yep.
Yeah. And because we've got the remote oil filter, just hidden in there.
Oh, it's under there, underneath you.
Yeah, we had a oil pressure sensor. Didn't think about it, just had this, you know, so we measuring what the oil pump was putting out. And when we left the start line at 2.5 Gs or whatever it was, we were low on oil pressure for about second and a half, 2 seconds. It's okay, it's only a bit low. So we put an accumulator on it, you know, a bit of a band-aid.
Yeah.
And because we wanted it to come in and be filtered, it went on the pump side, and the oil pressure sensor moved to the engine side of the oil filter block. And there was 10 pounds, or 5 pounds or 10 pounds pressure difference across the filter.
Okay, yeah.
So 15 pounds of oil was more like 5 or 7 pounds of oil.
Okay, so you actually, initially you had it on the wrong side, on the pump side, and then you moved it to the engine side.
The pump was making pressure.
The pump was making pressure, but the filter was restricting it. And I've seen that mistake a few times.
2.1.
So you've thrown, of course you've gone away from that, now put the dry sump on it.
Yeah, easiest thing, best thing we ever did was put dry sump on it.
I think in this sort of situation the dry sump's the way.
So at cranking, or at idle, it makes 30 pounds oil pressure. Simple. Got more volume. We've got the oil heater.
Yeah, all those things. I'll plug the heater in.
It was plugged in. So, yeah, the biggest problem is keeping heat in it, in the sense of sitting here in the pits waiting.
Yeah, there's lots of waiting.
The class rules give us 45 minutes before we have to be, it's the minimum amount of time before we race again. And that's because, unlike us, some of these other cars don't run water.
Okay.
So when you don't run water, you need...
So it's actually based on water, non-water running class for you guys, where you could just go out and run again. Give you 15 minutes.
If we ran too soon, we'd do lift heads.
Right.
Well, we're already making more pressure, but we would make it.
Already make. Jace Brown, blind head gasket, lifting heads. What are you talking your heads to?
Whatever the engine builder did.
Yeah, okay. We just grab them a little bit. We give them an angst cock more. We take the ARP setting, and you look. There's actually a chart for ARP saying if you want a bit more clamping. We just a little bit was done with the old school way, where you just grab the power bar and you go, that feels about right, and then you get your digital reading out and you work out what that torque is, and you give all the others the same.
Yeah. So the engine builder is a really old family friend who's been building motors for longer than I've been alive. He's very old school.
He doesn't have to do it very often.
No.
When was the last time it's had heads off? But the bottoming.
So it got new rings and bearings 3 seasons ago.
3 seasons ago.
It's had, and the one before that was after we discovered the oil pressure problem.
Yep.
And it marked the crank, not to the point where we'd have to machine it. It's still sitting on the shelf at home just in case, but it did mark it.
So it's gone.
It's done 5 years on 2 sets. Oh, it's had 2 sets of bearings and a set of rings.
5 years.
Since it was a factory motor.
Yeah. And the head's been off a few times because you've lifted them.
No, don't take them off. Let them cool down and just keep running.
Right, or retorque. You don't even retorque them. You don't even retorque them. Just run again.
Just run.
Oh, it's all good.
What ARPs do you use?
Just some normal, the baseline ARPs.
That's the ship set. This is the one that's all put together and basically the Honda main stuff.
NZ Performance
And
Ball.
we stretch the set as one.
So you've put some oversized head studs in it.
No, still 10 mil.
Still 10 mil, but it's a Chev set.
But it's it's a Chev main stud set or something of something.
Right, I might have to do some research now.
We can probably find out.
This is the one that ones he did for a shank one, and we didn't even get it off the dyno and stretched it. It's all wet rubber.
I'd really like to know what you're actually running there. That'd be interesting. I run a 2ZZ main cap, main stud. Bolts.
Yeah.
Oh, studs. So 2ZZ Corolla. 2 sets of them.
So the heads, the block has an O-ring in it. because at one stage we did run a copper head gasket.
Oh yeah.
Of course, that doesn't seal water very well. Great for compression, not good for water. So now we're back to an MLS gasket, but we've left the O-ring.
Little correction, it's actually still on composite gaskets. Yeah.
And
I saw one guy, I was on a barra, O-rings, MLS gasket, and the whole MLS gasket was silicon. So he used the O-ring to seal the compression, and he used the silicon on the gasket to keep the water where it's meant to be.
yeah. So also someone made a set, but I was looking at the firing setup, the actual ring setup for the MLS gaskets that they do for the barrows and that.
Yep.
Where they replace the whole firing and the gasket with your solid
that's it.
aluminium ring.
That's it. That's
And
what they
you
were doing.
Clamp them in, so that's what. That would be a nice upgrade.
Yeah, I think for where you're pushing, that's where you probably need to go.
But at the moment, no one makes a set, so it's all custom, and that comes with an extra zero on the end probably.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, like I think the core's probably starting to shift a little.
Moving it.
It's had a hard life.
You think?
It's had a lot of heat cycles.
Yeah.
It's getting a wee bit of boost.
But it doesn't fume much. And you've got it marked down the bore and it still doesn't fume much.
If we do pull it apart, I'll send you a photo of the rust mark. Like it is.
It's on methanol, it's going to have more rust marks in there. I saw the amount of water came out this morning, and some of it's from sitting that week. There'll be rust marks in the bore.
It's a race motor, who cares?
It's like two-stroke motocross bikes.
That's why we never pulled the rock covers off after the last season.
So you didn't have to look?
No, because if I saw the rust marks in the cams, I would have to deal with them.
Yep.
If I don't pull the covers off, I don't. So you just run it, and it scrubs the marks off. Yeah, so I never pulled the rock covers off because I didn't want to see the rust marks.
And you did get the championship last year, didn't you?
Not last year.
Oh, was it the year before?
So last year we were planning on coming north in January.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit again and canned the rest of the season. So the two before that we got, and this year we are leading the points again coming into this meeting. But the only meeting where I've had to race people, I haven't won this year. So the goal is to try and win with competition.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And maybe run a 7.
Yeah, maybe around a 7.
If the conditions and everything is alright.
Hey, you're only at 30% duty cycle on that boost controller. 35 or 40 should solve it.
I've just gone up to a wee bit more.
Oh, a wee bit more. I was paying attention.
So the other thing is too.
Really? I had to think about that when you said it.
because of the way the class runs,
Yeah.
I liken it to a big chess game.
Oh, a little bit. Does, doesn't it?
If I run under my record in racing, for the next round of racing it changes again. So then it comes down to, do you want to win?
Yeah.
How much do you want to win by?
Yeah.
The more you win by, the harder it is to win again. But if the guy next to you can go faster as well, you then have to consider how much do I want to win by, and how much could he win by.
That is...
So it becomes really good racing in the fact that it's not just about what you can do,
Yeah.
and it's not DYO, so it's not about just trying to do the same thing. It's if I want to win, I can guarantee to win, but will I win once, or could I win a meeting?
Yeah.
Or could I try not win by much and lose?
Yeah.
I like it.
I saw the time slips come out and checking the time slips, and yeah, you're into it.
It's the simplest form of motorsport. It's one of the most complicated timing systems in the world.
Yeah.
Whereas every tenth counts.
What oil are you running?
It is Gulf Western's
Oh, yeah.
Comp R50.
That's
So it's actually designed for methanol.
yeah.
Or nitro and
Nitro,
nitromethane and methanol. It was designed for the braze, Ben Bray.
And it works for you. It's obviously working. The engine's still staying together.
Yeah.
Everyone's
The only bad filter we've had apart is the one where we had no oil pressure.
oil's funny because so many guys will talk. You got to run this. You got to run this. It's a matter of finding an oil that works for you and just keep sticking to it. And it's real simple.
It's not cheap, but it works.
Yes.
It's cheaper than rebuilding that.
Cheaper than a motor.
I don't know, I got 5 of them. We go back to standard motors. We know how to run 9s.
Yeah.
Make 600 horsepower or 550 at the wheels on a complete standard short block or long block.
And again, that, when you take into account your driveline losses, that's pretty impressive.
People laugh when we strap it on the dyno with 4-wheel drive tyres on it.
Oh yeah?
Because it'd be, oh, that's inefficient, big heavy 4-wheel drive tyres. You end up tearing a slick apart on the dyno.
Which are what are they worth?
$1,000 pop.
Yeah, don't do that.
Get them hot and they go soft, you can't get any grip.
Yeah.
But the way we've tied it down in the past, when we ran the 8.5, the number that we saw on the real world ET to weight calculator matched to 1 horsepower with the what we saw on the wheels.
Yeah. And again, it comes down to using your calculator. It's amazing with the used calculators how accurate you can actually go. You're like, I've got a standard 1UZ and I want to put 15 pounds of boost up, but what horsepower? Funny, they lay down 500 horsepower.
1 atmosphere on top of a standard motor will give you double the factory.
We actually,
And what size injectors do we need?
we over doubled it because we were making double factory and rear wheels with the bar on it.
You know, what injectors do we got? Well, you mean double the amount of fuel, so double the size of the injectors. Come on, guys.
Unless you're on methanol.
Yeah, but
4 times the amount.
but we can do that calculation too, can't you? E85. You can do that one. You can do all these calculators,
And it all comes
and they're
down
all
to,
pretty good if you
to
if you
the
know.
little things too. We don't need this to idle.
But it's
like a
idles
street.
beautifully.
But we don't need it to. As long as it comes off idle
Yeah.
and makes boost, we're not looking for transition. We're not looking for response.
If you go too much in the cams, you'll lose your reaction time off the line.
So
So you've got to rely on your trans brake.
and a bump.
So there's another little trick you've got to play with if you do go too much in the cam.
It's all about learning. And this car has gone from a basic. When I first built it, it stayed white. It had no wrap, no paint,
Oh, really?
no nothing.
Yep.
And everyone gave me shit about it not looking pretty.
Yeah.
I told everyone I didn't give a fuck. I don't want a pretty car. I want a race car that goes fast. I don't care if it looks like it was built in a shed. I don't care if it's.
Well, it
not
was
gonna be
built on a shed.
If it's not going to be on a
The deal
wheeled show car.
was we'd wrap it when it ran, we'd put wrap it or paint it when it ran
Ran
9s,
9.
and we thought we had a couple of seasons, but we didn't.
Yeah,
Did
right.
it a
Yeah,
lot
a
quicker
season.
than we thought.
But yeah, I would rather spend, if I had $5,000, I'd rather spend it on the motor
Yep.
than spend it on making it look pretty.
Yep.
It's a race car.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's a Saturday, and that's Australia.
But different, eh? There goes the nitro car.
Oh, fine. And then I'm caught my ears and go, man, now why you got your fingers in your ears? You need to fucking hear it. Like your fingers in your ears. Right. You know it's doing a stop sitting car on. Yeah, like, fucking Jesus.
Time on.
Oh, just wait.
Get it?
I give it a little bit much, okay?
So I always do it as the driver. Because if it doesn't come out, I'm the one that has to deal with the consequences.
That's a little bit like when you tie cars onto a trailer. Tie motorbikes down. You don't tie your mates' motorbikes down either.
No.
They do it themselves. Too bad. Unless they're in an ambulance, they're going to tie their own motorbike down.
Yeah. If this fails, I'm the one that has to deal with the outcome. And I wouldn't want to put that on someone else.
Yep.
So 160 odd mile an hour, braking area disappears pretty quick.
How are you feeling with that headwind out there?
You don't notice it too much in the car, but
It's affecting the runs today, isn't it?
yeah,
That's,
we should have gone quicker than we did. So we'll use that as an excuse. Not a lack of horsepower.
well,
Not escape of compression.
but it's coming directly down the track, eh? Or is it got across?
I think it's directly down the track.
So you're heading into it, so it must be a lot harder if there's a crosswind.
It could be fun.
Yeah.
It can be really fun when the shoots come out.
Lots of guys are backing off. You can see them backing off down the track. And what speed do you need to have a parachute?
If you have four-wheel brakes, you need to shoot at 150 mile an hour. If you have
Okay.
two-wheel braking, it needs to be 130 mile an hour.
Okay.
And at 200, you need two shoots.
Oh, right. So you were telling me this thing was super reliable,
It is.
and today it's decided just to make your work a bit harder.
Today it's showing its age.
Yeah. It's a matter of working out when something should be come apart and being maintained, isn't it?
Yeah. Probably 2 years ago.
Oh no, I was getting rings 2 years ago, wasn't it? At the boost pressure you're pumping, head gaskets are always going to be your weak point, aren't they?
Yeah. We know it. We knew it was coming. It's been an issue. Normally it's an issue when we run. Less turnaround time, less time to cool down.
Oh, yep.
Now, everyone seems to think that just because the water's cold it's good, but aluminium of course, especially cylinder head, it's pretty warm. I guess someone's going to go and pull it, leave it.
Calvin, are you allergic to anything?
Oh, I don't do good on tamarillos.
Roger that.
Yeah.
I'll put that back.
They're quite tasty, but I'll experience them again
Oh, no.
quite shortly afterwards.
Oh.
We need to plug the power back in, buddy.
Plug the heater back on.
The heater's on. Do you want main power lead back on?
Which is the
5 or
catch?
6 inches in the catch can this time. There's at least 5 or 6 inches in it.
Empty it to nothing.
It is.
Oh, good.
It's every run.
That's fine.
Run less water in it.
And then less water in here.
Yeah. I reckon without topping that up, you'd fucking half that. That water in there now, right? When we come back after the first run, that was all evaporated in that floor. That's what's still there after being down there and coming back.
And don't put a restriction in there. It's going to stay in the block, isn't it?
No, it doesn't. No, we haven't got bypass on the back. We disconnected the bypass going across the heads.
Yeah, it's still going to have water in the block.
Oh, did you see some footage from Austin, did you?
Yeah, that same camera footage.
And it's blowing a bit of water through the cabin here.
Same gap.
Same gap. I don't have time to go get a spare engine for you, sorry.
Or retalk the heads.
No, I don't have time to retalk the heads
If
here.
it was a 2-day meeting, we just retalk the heads overnight.
Yeah, that's what we did last time with Jace's one in the first round to get to the second round. You got 35 psi on the burnout.
We had 35 pounds at the end of the burnout.
That's in the cooling system.
Yeah.
So we're leaking past it. You're lifting the head gas, and it did it. Masterton, and it's done it. Did it do it?
Did it in Christchurch, did it in Nelson's, been doing it all year, and if I go back further, it's probably been doing it.
So I've been doing it for a while.
We didn't have cameras before.
Dyno was fine.
Yeah, we never had
We
any,
had one lot of spike on the dyno.
but we had no bonnet on and you know airflow, so it would have just dribbled down under the dyno bed. We wouldn't have seen it.
So it's been running for a while.
No, we didn't have
Haven't had pressure like that.
Didn't have pressure like that though.
So now you've gone from 35 to 50 psi in the cooling system.
In the run, it went up to 50 odd.
And for the last half of the track.
We only had about, the highest was about 20 something on the rollers, but we probably heard it then. Really fair. I just know how sockly that track gets if it gets wet.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take fuck all. That's right, run that tank.
The run thing, it's got to do one pass, maybe 2.
As you say, at least with that cap there, it's coming inside.
Yeah, with the cap on, at least it comes in the car. Because the air's coming around that top corner.
Blowing it out of that cap because it's building pressure so much. And when it lifts, is it because it can't flow it out that hose?
Possibly.
That hose is not enough.
I'm getting nothing in the catch can virtually.
You're not getting anything in the catch can?
Nothing in the front.
No, because it's not even making it down the
It's
hose.
not even pushing out the hose. It's just finding the weakest spot, which is out.
Yeah, but the thing is, at the
Okay.
moment, the weakest spot is the top corner.
Can you
where the airflow brings
can you
it
pop
in
the hose
car.
off and blow down it, please?
underneath.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's definitely blowing.
yeah, I'll just shut
Can you just?
Alright, I'll just shut it.
How big's that hose? Yeah, it's probably blowing more volume than that hose can flow.
Fucking take, exactly.
So that's where you. So even if we
So
took,
your next weakest spot is bypassing the cap and coming out the top.
it's got to come out the top.
Yeah.
That hose is holding massive PSI. What's that rated to?
It'll be truck airline, so it'll be up there.
About 2,000 p100.
Yeah, that's why. So it can't flow enough there, so it's got to vent it out here, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that definitely isn't flat anymore. It's definitely got a big bow in it.
Yeah, you can see, stand there and you can see.
That's worse than what it was.
You're still driving yours there, so you'll get to warm it up.
Yeah, well, that's about all the warming up it's going to get on.
Yep.
Oh, that's so cute.
Decision was been made. So you skipped your eliminator, your last one,
Skip the last qual.
last squad.
By qualifying second, I have a chance of having a free run into the final.
Love Christchurch.
If I win this round of
So you
racing.
win this one, you might get a buy. There's a chance you're going to get a buy. So you have to hopefully do 2,
So great.
and that hopefully will be enough to keep this engine together.
I don't know. We'll see how it's like.
Fortunately, it's a UZ. So no?
Nah.
Right.
That's a bit uncomfortable for my liking. Now they want to rerun. They have to rerun the round because Don got no time.
I thought that.
Yeah.
Is that what he chases them for?
That's what he come over for.
Fuck.
Rerun. No. Not going back on the track. Not blue motors out.
Right.
Hey?
Yeah, not going back on the track for that motors out.
Fucking 5 times more water in there now.
You might as well have just taken a fucking jug and just poured it all over the computer, all over me.
That's what I kind of feared.
Right, okay.
Make it short. You are advising out.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, mate. So you might as well just give Doran that. And
Yep.
yeah. Your story?
Hey, young fella!
Yeah.
Red lights, we win the meeting.
Yeah.
But now I've got to run again. So, but gave it a shot.
No, it's not like the rush.
We had to go out playing the game.
I'd rather push this back.
It didn't get hot at all, did it?
No, I didn't get hot.
And you didn't see any excess pressure?
I wasn't watching the pressure, I was watching the water hit me in the face as it comes to the dash.
Yeah.
I don't know whether there's enough power in the camera to film it.
Just for shits and gigs.
It didn't get hot.
I just said we got a log.
Yeah, get a log at it.
It's a lot better too, but anyway. We're actually making 23 for most of the early ones are only about 22.
Again, atmosphere cooled off a bit.
Oh, I've been
Most-
adding Judy as well.
Alright, so we're still making 44 psi of water pressure with that rubber seal removed, with the
Yeah.
one-way valve removed. The sun is going down, and Scott's day didn't quite go to plan.
No, we heard it.
I think you
Just
didn't
a
hear it. You
little
didn't hear it today,
No, we've heard it for a long time. It's
but
just,
you've been lucky. It's a really good day racing though. I've had a good time catching up with you.
you learn a bit about drag racing?
I learned a little bit about drag racing because it hasn't really been my thing. So this is a whole new experience. I'd like to say, sometimes I think I'm not really into motorsport, but then I go jet sprints, drag racing, drifting.
Yeah, something going on.
There's something going on, eh? There's something going on.
You've caught the bug.
Yeah.
Well, so what else do you do, mate? It's just, you know, there's, you go to events, you know, you go watch the drift boats or...
Yeah. Half the time I don't get to watch the jet boats,
Because you're too busy working on
but I enjoy the bits that I do watch. Yeah, so anyway, great to meet you,
No, you too.
and I'm sure we'll be seeing you again.
Yeah.
There's bits at home if you need spares.
If you want to do a set of heat gaskets, you know,
No,
if it was a 2-day meeting, you'd be busy right now.
I could take them home. We could have heat gaskets. I've got them in stock.
Yeah.
I've got head bolts in stock. I got everything we need.
I think it's time for a new block. I think we
I
might
got one in stock.
Oh, we might upgrade from
I've
a
got a
rusted block.
re-run one in my hot water cupboard.
I like second-hand rings. They
Not
go
forged.
real good.
I got a forged 3UZ in my garage. Very good. We'll see you again.
Yeah. See you again, Kim.
Catch you, mate.
Thank you.
Good one.
As much as Azar loves putting his own branding on all his ProWear stuff,
Yep.
they're making not a bad decision.
So you've learned how to pack a parachute then?
I learned how to pack a parachute when I was 10 or 11.
Oh yeah. I take it Dad's the crew chief,
No.
but he looks.
Hello.
Who is the crew chief?
Me.
You can't be the crew chief. You're the driver.
I can be the crew chief.
I-
I make all decisions. Everything revolves around me.
Yeah. I still think there should be a crew chief to guide everyone else.
Definitely not.
Oh, can I put that in the video? I'm not sure I can. Avoid the back of the car. Did it make his face whack in your face?
Oh, I think I just about broke his finger at Masterton when I was doing the spring.
Oh,
It popped out and bit him.
oh. actually found some Sora parts. The tail lights.
No, the actual, there are only stickers, the actual Sora parts.
Stickers.
This is a genuine Toyota Sora door catch
At the and the block.
and a striker plate.
And okay, so if we that's
I don't know if it's a Sora. Oh,
it's a UZ, so that was.
I think it's a crown block,
That's all.
and it was half full of water when we got it.
Right. So the I thought I'd done quite well with the stickers compared to the tail lights, but yeah, it is just stickers. Okay.
Yeah, it's a genuine Toyota Sora door catch and striker.